Alrighty, for this lesson, we're going to talk about tagging on Facebook in a little more detail and how to find the appropriate tags. This is really a skill that becomes more, um, that you'll develop and become more adept at over the course of the semester. If you're working at an organization for a long period of time, or you're doing PR for a company for a year or so, you're managing these Facebook pages. Knowing how to do this is one element of the school of that skill, but the real important part and what makes you valuable is knowing that community that interacts around whatever subject is you're talking about, and knowing the right people to tag who are going to promote your messages. So here at NAZ Today, Facebook and Twitter are the main tools that we use for getting our content out to the community. At this point, really, with NAZ Today, there's not hardly anybody that sits around following the NAZ Today Facebook page or following us on YouTube, just dying to know what we have to say next. So we spend a lot of time just making sure that we use these social media tools to get our word into this community that we have content that's relevant to them. So I'm just going to stick with Coconino High School here in this Facebook example, and then our next step in the Twitter example. But the trick here, and I'm working with your team leaders to give you a little bit better idea about who to include in your tweets and your Facebook, or who to tag. But you might not always get exactly that Facebook post and know exactly who to tag. So I'd like you to be kind of proficient in how to handle this yourself. So again, you post your content. You know you have this Coconino High School basketball game. You know you're going to go to Facebook. So where I start is just on my Facebook page, and let's say this is some organization that you're not usually following. And I just type in the name of the organization. So you can see here I type in Coconino and a bunch of different stuff, so it comes up, right? So all of these are great searches, and a lot of these are things that we'll have content relevant to. But here's Coconino High School, so let's go ahead and search for that. And we should find pages relevant to that. There it is. Okay, and then click on pages. And you can see here we've just got all sorts of pages here that are relevant to Coconino High School. We've got prom, the community college, we've got ROTC, all sorts of different things going on in here. Okay, so this and this possibly are the two that we might want to follow. Here we've got a longer collection. So this is Coconino High School, and you can just go ahead and tag at Coconino High School, and that what'll happen is they'll get an alert that tells them that we have content about them, and hopefully they'll go forward and just kind of share that stuff. So let's go ahead, and a lot of times you might want to make a decision. I'll just go ahead and click on this. You can take a quick look through there, and there's a few things that'll tell you whether you'll get a lot of shares out of this or not. Here they've got about 1,200 followers. But another thing I do is I look down here to see how recently they've posted. These guys their last post was a month or so ago, so they're not super active. What you know when you get this stuff, when you see them posting all the time, is that you definitely will likely get a share out of them. So that's the deal, right? Even though these guys aren't really active, I would say go ahead and share to them and just hope for the best. Let's go ahead and look here and see if this one's a little more active. What did they do? Yeah, see, these guys haven't posted in a long time. Okay, so I would definitely go with that first one on my tag. Important rule here, actually a couple of things to think about as you're posting. Let's jump back here to home and get on the NAZ Today page. Similar rule here with anything. We only tag pages on Facebook. I'm not comfortable sharing content to really large groups or to individuals. So don't post to news feeds, only share to pages. So with individual folks like athletes or performers or musicians or whatever, a lot of times those folks will have pages. Totally tag them directly, that's fine by me. But I don't want to tag people's news feeds when they show up on Facebook. That's a little crossing the line, and I like to be more conservative on these things. So don't tag to them. And also think really judiciously about what you're going to tag about. So my philosophy on social media promotion is you should look at your post as kind of a gift, right? It's good news. Hey, Coconino, we've got great footage of you. This is something you would love to share. So with that in mind, generally we're not going to tag with anything that's negative, like a crime story or anything, hey, so-and-so, your brother got beat up downtown last night, or hey, so-and-so fraternity, there was a big fight and you guys were involved in it, whatever. That's not the type of stuff we tag people in. There's definitely people that do mean tweets and make sure to tag the folks they're being mean to, but that's definitely not us. A little exception to that rule is for negative. We'll go ahead and tag the Flagstaff Police Department. If we do a story on a crime that happened and they're looking for leads or just want more information, definitely tag the appropriate law enforcement agency on that. So burglary in Flagstaff at Flagstaff Police Department's looking for leads. If it's outside of city limits, it might be the sheriff's office. And sometimes we get stuff from Yavapai Sheriff's Office. And sometimes we get stuff from the Arizona Department of Public Safety. So again, on that negative thing, if we're doing a crime story or car accident or whatever, definitely go ahead and tag the law enforcement agencies about that. That's fine. But again, the two really important rules, we only tag pages. We never tag individuals. And in general, if it's negative, you can go ahead and put it up on Facebook. But definitely be very cautious about who you're tagging. If it's relevant to tag, the law enforcement agencies do that. But otherwise, there's no reason to tag it. As is always with anything that we put up on Facebook or anything we put up on the internet or the World Wide Web, just be judicious, right? If you have any questions, if you don't feel good about something, you don't need to put it on Facebook. You don't need to tag.